We have nature of the soil. You know, there are some soils with different minerals composition, and because of this, some may tend to enhance the erosional processes than others due to their differences in mineral composition, and also we have population pressure on the land. We are in a situation where we have high population. There is tendency that in that area, man activity or human activities that would lead to soil erosion will be on the increase, and as such, increasing the chances of experiencing this environmental problem, which is called soil erosion. Now, there are many effects of soil erosion. It could lead to loss of soil fertility. Soil erosion could also lead to loss of lives and properties. When the topsoil is gradually removed, in that process, many nutrients in the soil are equally removed and taken away, thus leading to loss of soil fertility, and loss of lives and properties. So many lives have been lost owing to soil erosion. Now, we also have decline in environmental production. When the soil fertility is lost and there is a reduction in economic activities as a result, or even farming activities as a result of soil erosion, automatically that can lead to reduction or decline in environmental production. Now, we also have pollution of air due to deposits or deposition of debris, and loss of farmlands. Now, during soil erosion, there is high tendency for water to be polluted, because as the erosional agent moves on, it carries so many debris, and these are usually emptied in water bodies, thus leading to pollution of the water. Now, how can we control soil erosion? Having identified some causes, having identified some effects of soil erosion, how then can we control it in order to sustain our environment for posterity? Now, one of these ways include afforestation. Now, afforestation has to do with the planting of trees. Now, if cutting of trees can lead to erosion, then planting of trees can also, in a way, control soil erosion. And there should be controlled grazing. The cattle should be made to graze an area evenly, so that no area will be overgrazed and exposed to soil erosion. There should be improved farming methods. Some farming methods which are so poor, like over-cultivating a particular piece of land, can lead to soil erosion. So, with improved farming methods like crop rotation, like shifting cultivations, soil erosion can in a way be controlled. And there should be strict legislation on illegal felling down of trees and overgrazing, so that all this may be checked in order to control soil erosion. And moreover, there should be an enlightenment program carried out nationwide to educate the people, to educate the populace on the importance or on the danger of soil erosion and how to control or avoid it. Now let's look at another environmental problem, desert encroachment. Desert encroachment has to do with the spread or extension of deserts to areas which were originally not desert before. And this could be caused by overgrazing, bush burning, high speed of wind, and deforestation, as well as overcultivation. Now, when these activities are heavily, carried out, activities we have mentioned, overgrazing, bush burning, high speed of wind, or deforestation, over cultivation, it has a way of extending originally available deserts, extending them to areas that were originally not desert. Now, for instance, overgrazing exposes the soil to loss of vegetation, and as a result of that, over time, these areas begin to dry out and turn into deserts. Bush burning does the same thing to the ground, and deforestation as well. Now, just like the soil erosion, we have some effects of desert encroachment. Desert encroachment can lead to the displacement of people and settlements because of the characteristics of desert, the dryness of the area, and the unproductive nature of the area in terms of cultivation, in terms of farming. People will be forced to relocate or to leave that area, and as a result of that, they are displaced. Now, there is also poor yield of crops. Just like we said earlier, the area is usually arid, as in dry. So, as a result of this, there will be poor yield of crops because no water to take care of the crops that are grown in these areas, and as a result of this, some nutrients or microorganisms that could act upon the soil and also enhance growth of crops would die, and as a result of that, we have poor yield of crops. Now, it also affects, desert encroachment also affects farming activities, and it leads to loss of lives and loss of pasture and livestock. Now, if there are no pastures on which livestock will feed on, over time they will die because of hunger. Now, we also have hot and dusty environment. These are all characteristics of desert regions: shortage of water, loss of vegetation, famine, and hunger. And finally, we have loss of animals and human beings. If these animals and humans in this area continually, get starved, and over time, no water to drink, no water to feed or to take care of the animals with, and even the crops, there's bound to be death, because animals who cannot survive a particular threshold, who cannot live within some harsh conditions like dryness, would tend to die, and leading to loss of lives and animals, or human and animals. So let's look at ways to control desert encroachment. We can do this by afforestation. We already know what afforestation means. It has to do with the deliberate planting of trees in areas where we are trying to control desert encroachment. So there should be irrigation. So a way of controlling this is, as much as we know that desert areas usually have difficulties of growth of plants. So one way to enhance this is by irrigation. Maybe by bringing water from somewhere, although it may be cost implication may be high, but then it's a way of helping the lives in this area, to sustain the lives in this area. So there should be cover cropping in these areas too. Cover cropping involves planting of legumes. Legumes have a way of adding nutrients to the soil and enhancing the growth of the plants. there should be rotational grazing. No area should be left or exposed to intense grazing such that they become overgrazed. Legislation against bush burning should be enacted and strictly, the people made to strictly comply or obey. And environmental education should also be carried out to make the people, to enlighten the people on the dangers and possible ways to control desert encroachment in any particular region. It should be controlled tree felling. Nobody should be allowed to cut down trees illegally or indiscriminately. It should be controlled use of wood as firewood. When the demand for use of wood for firewood or for fuel is so high, then people will tend to cut trees down at random. So there should be controlled use of wood as fuel. Let's look at another environmental problem, flooding. Flooding here refers to the occurrence of excessive volume of water in an area that was usually not waterlogged. And this is caused by excessive rainfall in that area. This is more or less the main cause of flooding in any given area. It could also be as a result of improper disposal of waste. When waste are disposed or jettisoned in an improper way, it has a way of blocking the canals, the gutters or culverts through which water flows during rainfall, and as a result of this, the water will tend to spill over the area, leading to flooding. Or we could have poor drainage system. In a city or a town where the drainage system is not properly planned or laid, they always experience flooding because the waters will not be channeled directly or will not be channeled properly to flow, in a way, and as a result of that, it spills over the city, the town, causing flooding.